What would you do if you discovered someone you trusted had secretly collected hundreds of your most private, vulnerable photos, and that person wasn't a stranger, but your own stepfather? Welcome to my channel. In today's story, we explore one of the most chilling and tragic cases of betrayal, privacy invasion, and revenge. The story of Jade Janks, a woman who once designed beautiful interiors, but whose life spiraled into a dark crime that captured headlines across America. But here's the question: was Jade Janks truly a cold-blooded murderer, or was she pushed over the edge by years of hidden trauma? Let's unravel the layers of this disturbing case. It all began in Solana Beach, California. Jade Janks was known as a creative interior designer, intelligent, independent, and close to her mother. But behind her calm demeanor was a complicated relationship with her stepfather, Thomas Merriman. Merriman was no ordinary man. He was a well-respected butterfly conservationist, co-founder of Butterfly Farms, and a figure admired in his community. But what no one knew was the secret he kept buried deep within his computer. In December 2020, Merriman was recovering in a rehab center after a medical issue, and Jade was tidying up his home. While organizing files on his computer, she made a shocking discovery: over 100 nude photos of herself. Some of them, she said, were taken without her knowledge. They were images dating back to her early 20s. Photos she had shared with an ex, somehow now in the possession of her stepfather. Horrified, Jade said she felt violated, betrayed, and sick. This wasn't just an invasion of privacy, it shattered her reality. The man who helped raise her had apparently been secretly collecting explicit images of her for years. According to court testimony, she told a friend, "I can't live with him anymore. I'm going to confront him." The confrontation never happened the way she imagined. On New Year's Eve 2020, Merriman was discharged from the rehab facility. Jade picked him up and brought him home. Within hours, he was dead. But it wasn't immediate. According to prosecutors, Jade drugged him with sleeping pills, then suffocated him with a plastic bag. They said she waited for him to lose consciousness before finishing the job, a cold and calculated murder. But Jade told a different story. She admitted to discovering the photos and being devastated. She said she did give him pills to help him sleep, but denied killing him intentionally. In her words, he was weak, confused, and died from a mixture of medication and illness. When pressed about how he ended up wrapped in a blanket under a pile of trash outside the home, she had no clear answer. Text messages recovered by investigators painted a more chilling picture. In one message to a friend, she wrote, "I just dosed the hell out of him." In another, she said, "He's waking up. I really don't want to be the one to do this." Investigators believe she may have sought help from an acquaintance to move the body, but ultimately, it was Jade who faced the charges alone. Her trial became national news. In court, prosecutors portrayed her as a manipulative killer who plotted for weeks. The defense painted her as a woman pushed to her limits, someone who snapped after discovering years of betrayal and emotional abuse. The jury deliberated for one day. The verdict: guilty of second-degree murder. Jade Janks was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. So, was she a monster or a victim? The truth may lie somewhere in between. This was a case not just of crime, but of pain. A case where privacy, trauma, and blurred family boundaries collided in the worst possible way. And now I return to our question. Was she a murderer, or a woman finally breaking under the weight of years of silent violation? Whatever your answer, one thing is clear. Some secrets, once uncovered, change everything. But this story also leaves us with something deeper to reflect on, because what happened here wasn't just about crime. It was about the silent wounds that often go unnoticed in families. It's about the hidden trauma some people carry for years before it explodes in ways no one expects. So let's talk safety, privacy, and emotional well-being, especially in the digital age. First, if you've ever shared private photos with someone, remember, once an image leaves your device, you lose control. Use encrypted apps or secure services if you must share sensitive content, and delete images from cloud backups or synced folders. Second, always trust your instincts. If you feel uncomfortable around someone, even if they're family, your feelings are valid. Emotional abuse, boundary violations, and grooming don't always look obvious. Don't ignore the small signals. Third, monitor your digital privacy. If someone else has access to your devices, check for file-sharing apps, duplicate folders, or hidden backups. If you're in a shared household, create a separate password-protected user profile. You have every right to digital privacy, even under your own roof. Fourth, speak up. If you discover something disturbing, whether it's photos, messages, or behavior that crosses a line, tell someone. Don't carry it alone. Talk to a therapist, a trusted friend, or a professional support line. You don't need to be alone with secrets. And finally, when someone violates your privacy or trust, you are never the one to blame. But your response matters. Revenge might feel like justice in the moment, but it never brings peace. It only creates more pain. The Jade Janks case reminds us that darkness can exist even in homes filled with sunlight, that the people who raise us aren't always who they seem, and that speaking up early, setting boundaries, and seeking help can save more than just your sanity. It can save lives. So be aware, be cautious, and above all, never be afraid to take your power back the right way. Thanks for staying with me through this heavy, important case. If you found this video insightful, I invite you to subscribe and share it, because awareness can prevent the next tragedy. Until next time, stay safe and stay sharp.